Buonasera! Welcome back, or if it's your first time, welcome to the Prima Volta of Prima Volta. We call it Prima Volta because that means first time, and while I've seen The Sopranos over and over and over again, we are watching the series for the very first time with this young hunk, Ian Fidance.
Yeah, what's up? Shout out to the commentators and all the guys and gals and pals out there. July 10th, Caroline's on Broadway. I'm headlining Sunday, July 10th, 7 p.m. Going to be a blast. July 22nd, 23rd, Hilarities, Cleveland. And then in August, baby, it's popping off. Creek in the Cave, American Comedy Company, Portland, Maine. I'm going back to Ohio. It's just going to be a summer of fun. And Sacramento Punchline, Philly Punchline, Denver Comedy Works. Shit's popping off, and you got to be there. Shout out. Thank you.
I believe July 10th, Sunday, is today.
What?
We better hurry through this episode.
Oh,
because you got to go to Caroline's.
I got to get to Caroline's. Okay. Well,
all right,
hey, thanks. All right, come on,
by the way,
let's get into it.
Go ahead and hit pause on this video. Maybe you'll beat Ian there.
Yeah.
How about that?
Let's race there.
And
bring me a Whitman's and an envelope full of cash.
yeah, and maybe you hit up Junior's after.
Oh,
Your sister's
yes.
cunt.
Uncle June.
Uncle June.
Yes, you motherless fuck. Now let's get into the show. We got to hurry.
You got to get to Caroline's.
I got to get there.
You got some jokes to tell.
Yeah, and I got to put on pants because I'm wearing my summer shorts.
Well, look, we have gotten to, if you'd excuse me for a moment, I thought I was going to sneeze. Camera's on you, though.
Yes.
Maybe I'm not. Hang on. Here it comes.
Ooh, what a little girl sneeze.
That wasn't a girl sneeze. That was a very masculine sneeze.
Uh-huh.
Season 5.
Yes.
Episode 7.
Yes.
In Camelot.
I don't get the reference.
JFK.
What?
JFK's, what's it called? White House was Camelot.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Didn't know.
And then Fran
Makes sense now.
said she made
Kumar.
love. She made love to JFK.
Yes. And then
Boom.
Tony really took that and ran with it.
He loved it. Well, he's a big JFK guy from back in the day. I'm going to start here. Ian,
Yes.
there are Sopranos fans that call this the worst episode
What?
of The Sopranos. Yes.
Why?
This is a very controversial episode. It's a very polarizing episode. Nobody thinks it's the best episode. So I guess it's not that polarizing. There are people who don't think it's the worst and people who think it's the worst.
Why?
Mainly, I think, because of the cringe of the Happy Birthday, Mr. President scene.
I was just about to say that.
That's what did it.
I don't know if that would constitute as a worst for me, but it was a moment of where I'm like, where's this going?
Think about the high bar. That's what you have to realize. When you're talking about The Sopranos, that's not the worst episode of most shows, but the bar that The Sopranos has set is so high.
Yeah, but why does one dance make the show bad?
It's just a really cringy scene.
Is that not the point?
I don't know. And that's the point. I think a lot of people are going like, what the fuck is this?
Well, here's the thing. You're not going to bat 1,000. You get 3 hits out of 10, you're going to the Hall of Fame.
That's like Rich Voss logic when he's on the show.
Oh, yeah.
He always brings up Hall of Fame numbers
really?
when his jokes don't work. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Does he also say, you got to throw shit on the wall to see what sticks? Sometimes I don't lot. No, but look, you're not going to have, home runs every episode, but even if this wasn't a home run, I'm still thinking it's a triple.
People don't like Fran, too. They think it's an unnecessary story. Maybe because after last week's show, people are so wrapped up in that Tony B story.
Well, that's the thing that pissed me off. No, whoa.
I know you're pissed, dude.
Oh, my God.
You're pissed.
No.
Oh,
God.
What? You are pissed.
Ah!
Boy, are you fat.
Boy, are you fat. I can't get a hold of this mic, and I can't believe, why is this happening?
It's weight distributed, so you have to push it down and then kind of tilt that mic back. See, now tilt that back. There you go.
Boy, are you fat.
Why did you do that?
I don't know, because I don't like it here. All right. Why the fuck don't they follow up with Tony B? And also, we see him for a second. There's no repercussion. There's no ramification. He's not a Hesh, or not a Hesh. He's not a Feech Lamana. He's not going upstate. He's not facing any consequence. He beat an Asian man in the fucking spot.
He's not going to face any repercussion.
That's what pisses...
Why would he face repercussion with the mafia, though?
No, I'm saying with the police. He beat an innocent poor man. Like,
people get beaten up all the time, bro. I hate to introduce you to these screets, but they're mean.
It's the man.
Are you a rat?
I'm not a rat. I'm a realist.
It sounds like you're waiting for the cops.
Listen to me, you fucking rat.
I'm not a rat. It's just me eating cheese. I like cheese.
I like cheese.
I got any cheese.
When it comes to cheese, I'm a bit of a monster. This scene really made me blue. Jeez.
I see.
Can't bet 1,000.
No.
I think I might be in the Hall of Fame, though. Okay, so let's turn the satchel page on this one.
No, you're right. You're right. Let's drink some Mott's apple juice mozzarella.
What? Here's the thing. This guy is giving Tony B his business. Tony B is fixing it up.
Well,
they're American. His daughter was there.
Cheese.
Listen.
Cheese.
What? Oh my God. Can you fucking cheddar it?
Look, it was a craft single. What? It was a craft single. Okay, I won't make another one.
These cheese buns got to be brief. So, Manchego.
Yeah, sure.
Provolone! Leave it provolone, Sam. So, what the fuck? It's Kim's business. He beats the shit out of Kim. Kim's daughter's been there. People know he's there. People know he's working on it. He leaves a man beat half to death.
What is Kim going to go and be like, hey, I'd like to report the mafia? Hello, police. I'd like to report the mafia. I don't see any ramifications from that. Guess what happens? There are worse things in this world than getting beat up. If Tony B goes to jail...
I know, but I'd like to see Tony B making amends to Kim. And say, hey, my anger got the best of me. I've been having a tough time. I'm sorry.
We're too busy focusing on Fran.
Yeah, maybe that's why this episode sucks. Here's the thing, though.
I do love, by the way, that you've gone from, really? People don't like this episode?
This
very quickly,
blows.
Too. Yeah, no wonder this sucks
here's
so
the thing.
bad.
Here's the thing that sucks about it is, what is her motive? Hesh says something where he goes, she's not as sweet as she seems, or something like that. Also, I love how Tony accuses him of wanting her, and he goes, she's a bit too a couple shades pale for me. Hesh is the fucking man. Tony has a
gabagool.
Tony's got a gabagool for her because he's a gabafool. And
nice.
He has a thing for her because he almost sees like what his life could have been if she was his mom. He sees a connection to his father with her. He sees a side of his father he didn't see before. But then he gets brought back to the fact that she's a reason why there was a lot of friction in the family.
Yeah, it's interesting. In the beginning, when he realizes that his dog, this is my dog.
Yeah.
When he realizes that his dog went to her, he's mad at his mom.
Yes.
For giving away the dog.
Yes.
But I think by the end of it, he resents her for having the dog. Just because he doesn't, he's realized, okay, look.
And also he's pissed that he gives her that money. She doesn't pay her phone bill. She buys shoes.
It all comes back to money for Tony. Even when you're dealing with like childhood stuff, it's like the fact that she didn't use the money appropriately, that he involved her needs in his business. She put him in a position with Phil and with Hesh.
Yeah.
And then she goes and she buys nice shoes. He sees this as selfish.
And filet mignon.
Filet mignon. Right after he sees this, he finds out she kept smoking around his dad.
Yeah.
Dad was very sick.
Yeah.
That's not nice.
Well, my thing is, what is the motive? Is there a nefarious reason for her to be glomming onto Tony? Did she know Tony would be there that day at the graveyard? Is she manipulating this at all? What is her reasoning? Because it seems as if throughout the episode, Tony has started to become wise to her in a way, or he's opening his eyes of like, what am I doing? But is there some sort of ulterior motive with her that
Altieri. Jimmy Altieri.
Paulie Gualtieri.
Boom.
Is there some sort of Gualtieri motive here where she and that's the thing that I found this episode, there was no resolution in terms of what is she doing here? What's her motive? Does Tony find something out about her? Is there a big blow up? I don't know if she appears later or if she was like a one-off, one-episode character because I haven't seen the rest of the show.
What is it, your Prima Volta?
It's my Prima Volta.
That's salud.
That's salud. It's
Good.
good.
That's good.
That's salud.
Salud. That's good.
So...
Go ahead.
Take it.
Oh, thank you. Go ahead and fix that microphone. I don't know why it's the same mic that's been here every show.
Take it.
Thank you.
I'm going to the poorhouse with all these Whitmans.
Well,
I'm glad you didn't move this from the last time I was here. Thank you.
I was hungry.
Thank you. I know. It looks like a fucking raccoon tried to chew through this thing. Thank you. What the fuck is the point of her? And does something come of it? There has to be some sort of thing.
I don't think I think clearly she had ulterior motives.
And what are they?
Gualtieri motives.
Yes.
I think that it's way too far-fetched and manipulative to believe that she knew he'd be at the grave.
Mm-hmm.
And so she approached it with a plan.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think, I feel like every other week we talk about scorpions. This time there's a different type of animal. It's a leech.
Whoa.
I think there are people in this world that are vampires.
Yeah.
That are energy suckers. And they immediately...
They're real killjoy.
They immediately can't help but to leech onto you and to try to drain you of your life energy. And so it's not even necessary.
In like a green room?
Yo, it's the worst.
Yeah.
And they're like, let me make this about me. Let me suck you in. And you think like they intoxicate you with something. Whether it's a story, whether it's sympathy, whether it's
JFK.
Exactly.
Ramekins.
Look at this hat.
Yeah.
It's a JFK hat. It's a very cringe version of Happy Birthday, Mr. President.
I honestly thought Tony was going to sing so low as to fuck her to like have a connection to his father.
I could have seen it. I'm glad he didn't.
And she was all right, but then just during that dance, it's like this mask came off and she was a real funhouse mirror of a gal.
Well, that's where you see that's where the fangs come out. That's where I think that's where you realize she's a vampire. It's like in Dusk Till Dawn when the hot strippers start turning into, demons.
I would still do it.
You'd have to. I mean, you'd have to.
Selma Hayek. My God.
It's not Fran.
No.
If Fran were Selma Hayek, we'd probably be having a different opinion about this whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Fran's a leech, and I think maybe
she's not a Feech. She a leech.
Right. Feech was kind of a leech.
Feech was a leech.
But I'll tell you what, Feech is now leeching off the state.
Yeah.
In prison.
So he is a leech. Feech a leech.
I think Tony's becoming a little bit more cognizant of energy vampires and leeches. And I think that's what you're picking up on with his wisdom. I think that he's like, wait a minute. I know what this is.
So you think this was like a lesson learned type thing and not like she's intentionally using him or like...
Well, I think she was using him, but I think everybody uses Tony.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that that's part of being the mafioso boss, is that everybody uses him for different things, and what he thought was a familial connection is just him being used. And I don't know, to an extent, because you're right, at the beginning of the episode, he resents his mother, and he's thinking about what could have been. This is the person my dad could have been with. By the end of it, like, his mom manipulated him. And his mom was a terrible person, but his mom wasn't, like, using him. So you wonder if, to an extent, as poorly as his mom treated him, was his mom the only person that didn't use him? And maybe that's why he starts to sympathize more with the mother and less with the Gumar.
I feel like that scene when he really dissects the fact that he had to lie for his father to save his father when his mother could have died.
And he realizes that maybe the reason that my mom treated me like that is I started this in motion.
Mm.
Now, that's a terrible thing for any child to think. Like, it's never the kid's fault.
Right.
And now Tony's taking on that guilt, which is unfair still, even from the grave. Right. You know, somehow from the grave, Livia is guilting Tony, which is interesting. But yeah, no, I think Tony maybe starts to see the damage that Fran did, but he doesn't see the damage until after Fran has come in and caused him to go to work and use the money improperly. You got to, I feel like you got to see a little more of Phil in a business sense. I mean, I know we got to see him deal with New York earlier, but this is seeing Phil deal with Tony. How did you feel?
I love Phil Leotardo.
You love him.
I love him. This ain't fair, John.
Yeah.
And he I love the name John.
John.
Whenever someone says it, it's just
it's a man's name.
Yeah, especially John. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my father's name. Jon pussies. John. You're fucking man.
Because John, Jon, is actually Jonathan.
I'm Jonathan.
Jonathan. No.
Hello.
John. It's like, oh, you mean Jonathan? No, fuck that.
Yeah, I'm John.
You know what my uncle's name is?
What?
Hank.
Oh, that's a name.
And I remember as a kid, like I went to figuring out nicknames and stuff, right? And I was like, I thought it was so funny. I was like, Mom, is Uncle Hank's real name Henry? Is he Uncle Henry? Can I call him Uncle Henry? And she goes, Nope. My parents named him Hank.
Wow.
Straight up Hank. And I go,
that's great.
I go, why did they name him Hank? Like, that's not a name. Like, why would you name him Hank? And she goes, well, is it true? You know what his middle name is?
What?
Williams. That's a shoot, brother.
Wow.
His name is Hank Williams
Roberts.
No, it's my mom's maiden name. I don't want to shout him out, but
no, that's okay.
Yeah, his first name is Hank. Straight up.
Let me guess. Hank Williams McGillicuddy.
Actually, you know what my mom's maiden name is?
What?
Fucks.
Sopranos. Oh.
So it's actually
Hank Williams Fucks.
Yeah.
I love it.
Solid. That's good.
Wow.
Yes.
Hank. That's a great name, John. Yes. But Phil Leotardo, I love that scene, man, because and especially the end of the episode with Tony, because it seems as if, like, you look at Tony and like all this shit, like, just when you think his crew is a bunch of fucking loose screws, Tony's losing it. Tony sucks. What is he doing? He's not a good boss. He like fucking comes in and brings the heat. Mm-hmm. And when he has that little talk with Phil, he fucking puts it on the line and he goes, it's an expression. He goes, well, here's an expression. You're going to have my money to me by tomorrow.
And when Tony is chasing him down,
dude,
in the car,
dude, holy shit. That gave me so much anxiety. And when he crashes, I went, oh my God.
Well, it's one of those things where Tony's in a position where if he lets Phil get away, everybody's going to get away with everything.
Yeah.
And, that's the way that business works.
Yeah.
And so Tony's in. But I also think that Tony gets off on those moments. You know what I mean? Like, remember when Tony was depressed and the only thing that got him out of it
was getting shot at.
Almost dying, and then getting the guys.
Yeah.
This is probably the most powerful, empowering scene of the entire show.
Yeah.
I think Tony has a little bit of that. I think he likes getting in the mud a little bit,
Yeah, well, because he's so high up that he doesn't do it often. So when he does, it's like, my young days.
Feels alive.
Yeah. And dude, I love that he goes, are you okay, mister? He's like, oh, my neck. Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
But then but that's what I mean. He goes through all that just so Fran can buy some shoes. No wonder he's pissed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's right.
He's got to deal with Hesh, which is one of his dearest friends.
And I love when Hesh goes, come on, we're friends. You're my best friend or something. I forget the exact line, but he's like, yeah. He's like, I call you. He goes, 2 a.m. when you need a therapist. And he calls Tony on his shit. And I love that.
Yeah.
I love Hesh.
Yeah, no, Hesh is great. Hesh is a real one.
Yeah.
He's a
Hesh
real
is a
one.
Hank.
But I also love that he is a Hank. Hesh Fox.
Hesh Fox.
Yeah, I think I love that after all that, though, it's because Tony will do all this for Fran because he feels like a maternal
like
love
an allegiance
for her.
Yeah, and also he is fulfilling his father's wishes.
Yes.
Which was to have her taken care of.
Yep.
And if you ever need anything, call my son Tony.
But then Fran makes the cardinal mistake of insulting Tony's mom. I think that's where things change.
When she called her a handsome woman?
She says something about her, and it's almost like Tony goes back, and we've seen this in Tony before, where it's like, I can make fun of him. I can feel the way I feel about them, but who are you to open your mouth?
Yep.
Yep. I think that was a big deal.
Yeah.
Well, Fran is, of course, not the only thing in this episode, and neither is Phil. Christopher, and by the way, we talked about this. Who does well in those poker games? No one. All those poker games do is destroy lives. It's like, who are those three ladies in the Odyssey? When they're singing you in. I'm trying to stay on my Odyssey.
Yes.
I'm trying to stay on my Odyssey.
The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria.
Those are boats.
What?
They're sucking you in.
The siren songs.
Yes. And you're like, the song sounds so good. Those women are so hot. I'm going to go over there.
I crawled in the caves of Calypso that are in the Odyssey.
Odyssey's a made-up story, dude.
No.
It's bullshit.
Real.
No, it's not. Homer, the whole thing?
The Odyssey is real, and Sopranos is real.
I didn't say Sopranos wasn't real.
All joking aside, I climbed in the Caves of Calypso. Caves of Calypso are in the Odyssey. Just because the story of the Odyssey isn't real doesn't mean it can't have factually based references.
I think they just named some caves after the Odyssey.
No.
I think so.
No.
It's like I went to Neverland.
No.
Cool.
The Neverland Ranch.
Yeah.
Hello. It exists.
It's what they made Peter Pan based on.
Sound off in the commentatories.
Yeah, but the poker game calls people in, and dude, boy does it.
And it's a thing of like, I'm always on the friendship bus to Funtown, but man, does that friendship bus take a detour to business Moneyville?
Well, the mafia thing is so intoxicating. Like getting near it, you just want to be closer. I mean, think about just watching this show. Both of us kind of want to be in the mafia.
Kinda.
Just from watching the show.
Yeah.
And so you can imagine getting to actually hang out with Christopher. If you're Christopher's sponsor, you don't want to have a little of that fun.
That's the thing, though.
In between writing episodes of Law and Order.
Sponsorship. You never do business. It's almost like you don't even want to be each other's friend because then you can get over on each other, especially with addictive behavior. And I think Christopher is addicted to this lifestyle, and he gets off on this stuff.
His professional
lifestyle. Yeah. And the funniest part is that he's still trying to be his AA guy while he's beating the shit out of him and taking his money. He's like, why didn't you call me?
I love that scene because to be in the mob, I think you have to have a duality.
Totally.
Right? You have to be able to just cut things off and keep things separated.
Yep.
So Christopher sees going to this guy's house, kicking the shit out of him, threatening his life.
What could you do to me that already hasn't been done? We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sees that all as business.
Yeah.
Separate from the AA thing.
Totally.
So he's like, you relapse? That's terrible. You should have called me. And like to him, it's like, why would you confuse this with personal? That's just business.
That to me is why it's asinine for people to say this is the worst episode ever. Christopher carries this episode. It's a
strong story.
It is. I mean, look, like that. The Fran thing is like a Meadow plot line. It's like secondary. It pushes the show along in a way because you can't just have it be the Christopher hour. But Christopher and his storyline and
would you watch the Christopher hour?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've written it already.
Disgusting.
It's a spec strip. Spec script. So Christopher saves this episode and just him, the humor in it is just out of this world of Christopher beating the fuck out of this guy. Why wouldn't you call me? Him in the car with him, getting him to sign the title loan. He's like, don't worry, you got this, man. And I'll collect the payments when you get out of rehab. You're going to do great.
He thinks he's doing him a solid.
Dude, he thinks he's being like a solid AA friend.
But like, it's also, I mean, you might know better than me. I mean, if you're your AA sponsor, like the guy that you're with, I mean, a high stakes poker game seems like a terrible place for an addict to be.
When he starts to go, I gotta really get a rush off this. He's like literally telling him, I'm getting high from this activity. And Christopher's like, you want to really make some money? And it's like that, again, that compartmentalizing of like separation. And which is also sad because when he was beating the shit out of his sponsor, I was like, well, he's clearly not working the steps because he would have had this part of him removed in order to be a better person. But then I thought, you know, a program of recovery works through rigorous honesty at looking at your faults, looking at, you know, how you've harmed others and finding your role in it. And in order to get through that, you really have to look in the mirror and find where you were at fault, what you did wrong, and find a higher power to ask for those defects of character to be removed.
Be accountable.
Yes. And it's like, is Christopher maybe, you know, drug and alcohol free, but will he ever be truly sober? Because is he ever fully able to admit, like, I murdered a man?
Which really interesting that you bring up rigorous honesty, because that is the antithesis of the professional life that you just said Christopher is addicted to.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, I mean, it's like Tony being in therapy to an extent, right? Like, Tony's never going to be able...
It's always surface.
Right.
It's
be honest.
An associate. He had to go away.
Right.
Know?
Yeah.
And there will never be a true cleansing of the soul by going, I took a human life. Now, in a program of recovery, when you work with your sponsor, you can say those things. There's no judgment. There's no like, you
can tell your sponsor that you killed somebody?
Yeah.
But don't they legally have to tell the police? Otherwise, they're an accessory.
No one's told me. No one's told on me. Yeah. Hey. Delaware Italians?
Ian,
you get shit done.
You just told on you.
What?
When you said no one's told on me, the implication.
I was talking about like a friend.
An associate?
An associate. A business associate. Yeah, not me.
That makes me feel better.
But I have killed a man.
What?
Yeah.
No!
Yeah.
No!
Well, you're my sponsor. You can't tell anyone. Is how that would work.
And scene. No, but that wouldn't hold up in a court of law, right?
No, because he would have his sponsor murdered before he had the fucking police. Are you kidding me? You know? But it was funny that my like AA brain kicked in right there when he's being the show. I'm like, he's not really working the program. You know,
Christopher, I hate to call you a hypocrite here, but
but I mean that alone, and maybe it's just so funny to me because I'm involved in that world that I've honestly like hats off to David Chase for involving that world in this and finding the humor in that. Again, like I would love to ask him, like, has addiction affected you or anyone?
Because he gets it right.
Like, yeah. And it's so, dude, I used to, so in your first year of sobriety, it's men with the men, women with the women. You're supposed to stay out of relationships, you know, whatever. And so I was, just bros, bro. So I was really trying to do it, and I got like an ugly haircut so that like women wouldn't even like want me. I was wearing these like
probably
gross
don't have to worry
glasses.
about it.
Fuck you, because I'm a Lothario. Okay,
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, Lothario.
People call me Lothario Italian from Delaware. I have Lothario tattooed on my dick. I'm not joking.
All right.
Yeah. And when I get hard, it says, I am the Lothario of Delaware Italians, Ian Fidance, a.k.a. Lothario.
It's got your P.O. box on it?
Yep.
Nice,
My social.
Nice.
Pretty long dick. To be honest. So, what? What were you saying?
You were saying you have a big Delaware dick.
I got a big Delaware dick.
No, you were talking about, I don't know, being in recovery or something.
Right. This really hit home for me, but the humor in behaving in these terrible ways and still using the jargon and still like thinking and tricking yourself is so funny. And I don't know if everyone truly gets that, but I know guys like that. I was a guy like that where I was staying away from women for a year. I wasn't dating, wasn't hooking up. But me and other AA guys from like my halfway house or like wherever would go to the strip club to get attention from women. And then when you leave, you're not being like emotion. And we would literally be sitting there having girls grinding on us and be like, well, you know, on page 97, it talks about surrendering spiritually to the spiritual malady that we have, you know, and like it's so. I was doing that.
Yeah, we're not. This isn't what it was intended.
Yeah, we were staying away from women, but we're going to get massage hand jobs, being like, well, you know, I gotta get it done somehow, but I'm not taking May out for a date.
Yeah, we're just acquiring a service.
I could really relate to that, and I loved it, and it's just so funny.
It's also interesting that he loves bringing his industry into it. He loves like Hollywood and stuff like that.
Yes,
like the fact that he's a
John
TV
Favreau?
writer. Yeah. He's going back into that world, and he keeps mentioning writing episodes of Law and Order, and then he's looking for the gig and everything. And I do think that David Chase snuck it in that the Emmy that he had was worthless at the pawn shop.
Yes, that was so funny too. That reminded me of The Simpsons whenever they'd shit on Fox.
Yes.
Because they were on Fox or whatever, and the guy's like, I mean, maybe it was a Grammy or an Oscar, but TV?
I think he said maybe if it was an Oscar, because like, that was David Chase's way of being like...
Incredible.
Yeah, we made a great show, but TV still sucks.
They made a thing, they said something about some show, he's like, oh, that piece of garbage with Paul Sorvino? Totally unrealistic. I mean, again, like, best show of all time. And for anyone to say that this episode was bad, suck an egg.
Well, okay. I mean, it's just, I think...
Suck an egg!
Oh, God!
Sorry.
I think it just depends on perspective, right? Because a minute, like, at the beginning of this ep, you said that it was a bad episode because of the Fran stuff.
No. Play the tape back. I didn't say it was a bad episode. I said I can see how people would feel it was a bad episode.
You said maybe that's why this episode sucked.
For people that would feel that way.
In the context of Sopranos, would you say the fact that one of the three stories, so the three stories, I guess you would argue, because each show usually has three stories in it, right? ABC story. So I would say that the three stories are probably, the C story is the story with Phil and the money.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
The B story is the Christopher story. And the A story is Tony and Fran.
I would say that the Tony and Fran is almost a B story because it feels throwaway, but that is...
What's the A story?
The A... Are we going ABC is in order of the stories, or are we going...
Always be closing.
Excuse me. Sorry, I burped.
It's okay. I know.
Or is ABC in... It's like meat. Like A is the bigger story. B is and C is a little story, is it the order?
No.
Because I feel like the B story. Actually, no, you're right. The A story is Fran.
Yeah, because there's family implications.
Yeah, and then they go to the track,
the B
and then
story,
Hesh, and then that's how they get involved. The A to C with Phil, and then the B is a
the C story is spawned from the A story.
Yes.
Now it may develop into a bigger story. I'm sure that we're going to see more. With Phil.
I'm wondering where this chick comes from, where it goes. Also,
you want more Fran?
What the fuck happened to the B C story of Tony Blundetto? He just shows up once. Follow up with my man.
You think we'll see more Blundetto in episode 8?
I hope. I love him.
Do you think he'll be back to folding close?
I hope. He goes, Kim, I had a bad day, brother.
Yeah, but then does he have to go to Tony and be like, never mind joining the mafia? I don't want to do that.
I don't think he had to talk with him about I'm going to join.
Well, no, he didn't actually have that conversation. But the implication was that he was back with Tony.
How is that? Why? Where? What?
In the last episode. We're not going over it this time.
What? Because he beat up Kim? That means he's automatically joining the mafia? No.
I mean, I guess not.
Means he had a rough day and he took it out on poor Kim.
Hard on.
Sam, please.
Sorry. It's not appropriate.
Yeah, no. Sam, this is a family show.
It's not appropriate.
So anyway, it was fucking your mother's cunt.
That's not the song from the show.
No, it's not, but we'll jam anyway. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love Phil, Leotardo, Blundetto. These are my favorite. Yeah, yeah.
I love that. Okay, that's all right.
And Christopher.
Well, I know you like Christopher, but I love that in this season, because when we started,
I was like, these characters, too much.
Because everybody's getting introduced
and
at once.
Phil.
Feast Lamont is out of our life already.
Yep.
Who saw that coming?
So is Jackie or Jenny or Jugs. Who's it? Lorraine.
Lorraine. Which one was Lorraine?
The one with the tits. I'll suck you all off.
Lorraine. She's
gets
dead.
killed in the house. She's dead.
She's passed away.
I mean, how can you not love Phil with that fucking intro?
I just love that we've gone
How about this humidity?
You have to love him.
It's the best.
I love that we're this far into the show. There's a whole bunch of new characters being introduced, which for a lot of shows in general is like death. Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's when you know a show's kind of done, when the new characters start coming. But you've now gotten to a point 7 episodes in where 2 of your favorite characters, 2 of the people that you're tuning in to watch, are Tony B and Philly Leotardo. That's amazing. That's the power of this show, dude.
Yeah. And Christopher.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. He's the Multisanti of Newark. You know, the many saints.
Yeah.
Well, look, I can't wait to find out what happens in episode 8. Actually, I know what happens in episode 8. I can't wait for you to find out.
Well,
what
I'm excited. I honestly, man, like, look, I know we joke around and I, like, oh,
too much if you ask
good,
me.
blah, blah. But like, in all sincerity, like, Ian Fidance here speaking, I want Tony to go back and fold clothes and be a good guy. Christopher will say, hey, it's just money. Your sobriety's worth more. And Phil Leotardo will get a spinoff show.
What is it with you and spinoffs? We're finding out what's going on in New York. We don't need a spinoff. You just want more Phil. Okay. So your predictions going into episode 8 are Christopher realizes his sobriety is more important than his work.
Boom.
Tony Blundetto realizes that living the straight life is what it's all about.
Yep.
And Phil Leotardo continues on the path that he's on, but we see episodes that are strictly Leotardo driven.
No.
All right. I was going to give you an out there. An entire series.
An entire series it starts because he's such a wonderful character.
Why would they do a spinoff all these years later?
No. It happened already when this season was going on, and I just don't know about it because I've never seen the show.
You wouldn't have found out.
No.
Wouldn't have made an impact on you.
No, because people haven't left commentators about it.
Hey, Phil Leotardo's getting his own show. I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Not even going to register it.
Yep.
And go back to telling jokes.
Yeah.
Ian Fidance, great Delaware Italian, but even more importantly, New York City comedian.
That's right. Caroline's on Broadway. Oh, shit.
You got to go.
I got to get out of here.
Leave a commentatore. We'll find out. Does Phil Leotardo
get his own show?
I know the answer.
I don't know. I can't wait to find out.
Ian doesn't know.
I don't know.
But maybe we'll find out next week. For me,
oh, God damn it.
Yes. I will have seen the episode before. But for Ian Fidance and for maybe some of you, it'll be the Prima Volta.
This fucking mic over here.
Get a hold of that thing.
What is this, a boner? Oh.
Yeah, it was implied.
Hit my nose. Schnoz. Oh, mortadella. That's another cheese. No, it's a meat. Ow. All right.